All right, we good? So first thing we did is subtract 10x from both sides because we're trying to get the y by itself. So then I just have 5y on the left side of the equal. Can I add 10x and 80 or do 80 minus 10x? Why not? Go ahead. I see you, Anna. Go for it.
Because they're not like terms.
They're not like terms, right? The 80 would have to have an x to be able to subtract them. And I'm going to write the x term first. Just as a little side note, because we have that equation, y equals mx plus b, that's the equation for a line. The x term comes first in that equation for a line. That's right, why I'm writing the x term first here. Do you have to? No, but it's just a good idea, a good habit to be in. What you got, Ari?
I just was going to say, does the 10x always have to be before, or does it not matter which order it's in?
It doesn't have to be, but it's just going to make your life easier in the long run.
All right, cool, thank you.
Yeah. So last step here to get the y by itself, it's like 5 times y here. So how do I undo times? You do
divide.
What? Divide. So we're going to divide. Many of you will write this big fraction bar with a 5 kind of in the middle here. Don't do that because you guys make little tiny mistakes all the time. So I'm going to show the divide by 5 on all 3 parts of this equation so I make sure I don't make a stupid mistake. What you got, Anna? You good? Okay. So we get y equals negative 2x plus 16. So all of this goes back to what the heck is the question that they asked in the first place? So what the heck is the question they asked? We solved for y. The reason we solved for y is because y was sandwich, x was pizza, and we want to know how many pizzas we can get if we buy a certain number of sandwiches, or how many sandwiches we can get if we buy a certain number of pizzas, which you can see right here. So we're going to plug in 3 for x, do the math, see what we get for y. That'll tell us how many sandwiches we can buy. And then as a separate problem, we're going to plug in 6 for x and see how many sandwiches we can buy if we buy 6 pizzas. Okay, so we're going to plug in 3 and 6 for x right here. So I'm going to plug in 3 over here. And then I'm going to plug in 6. Right, y is sandwiches. We want to know how many sandwiches we can buy. So here it's y equals negative 6 plus 16. So if we buy 3 pizzas, we can buy 10 sandwiches. And then over here, we get y equals negative 12 plus 16. So y equals 4 sandwiches. So the very first problem in your homework is like this, where you're solving for a variable, plugging stuff in, and seeing what you get for the other variable. So no big deal. Okay? We good on that one? Nod your head. Yes. Good, good. All right. So write this one down. So we want to solve this for x. So I'm going to give you like a easier but related problem in the hopes that I'll help you understand this one. So the first step we need to do is to factor this problem. So we're going to start with Totally unrelated problem. I'm actually going to go to another page so you can get that it's totally unrelated. So let's say we start with this. Actually, let's do it like this. So if I distribute this in, and I'll get your question in a sec, Volpe. So 2x plus 3xy equals 4. And if I want to get that x out of here, what I have to do is factor that x out. So I divide the x out. When I do that, the x goes in front of the parenthesis. So, give me one sec here. So it looks like it did in the beginning, right? And I went from 2x's here to 1x. So that's what we have to do on this other problem. So totally unrelated. This is distributing. This process is factoring. Okay? So distribute, you cast into the parenthesis, and now we're pulling that x back out. This is called factoring. This is called distributing. Okay? So let's go back to that previous problem. What can I divide out if I'm solving for x? The only way to go from 2x's to 1x is to divide out the, show me like using your arms or your hands. Not 1. Divide out
2.
Divide out the x. Okay? So if I divide x on both sides, the only way to go from 2x's to 1x is to factor. So I always like circling that x. I don't know, I just always have. What's left in this first fraction, or what cancels? Go for it, Volpe.
A and B, so it'd be A minus B.
A minus B. See, so we went from 2x's to 1 here. We did that by factoring the x out of both of these first two terms, and that gets us to 1x. Now to get this x by itself, we have to do an opposite operation. So to get rid of this a minus b, and I'll take your question after that, Ari, we divide out a minus b. Okay, so this a minus b on the left side of the equal cancels, and you end up with x equals c over a minus b. All right, Ari, you got a question, and then Volpe.
Yeah, so how come if there's two, if you scroll up a little bit, where it says ax minus bx, how come if you divide 2 x's, you only end up with 1x?
Just like if we have, right? So if I go opposite direction, I'd have 4x plus 8, right?
Yeah.
And if I want to get, well, I could divide, I shouldn't have done 2 here. Just to go back the other way, you'd factor out the 2, and then we end up with 2x plus 4. So that proves why you divide 2 of them out and you end up with only 1, right? Because if I distribute back in, I end up where I started, the 4x plus 8. So we're factoring it out, and it takes it down to just one of them, because I could then distribute back in, and I'd have ax. And if I distribute back in here, I'd have bx.
Okay.
So that's kind of the proof behind why it works. And this is weird, right? It's the weirdest thing you've probably done, or one of the weirdest things you've done in math class is this kind of factoring. You will definitely have one like this on your lesson quiz on Tuesday. So make sure you know how to do one like this. We're going to do one that's almost identical right here. So write this one down. Oh, Anna had a question. Sorry.
Could you go back to the last one?
Yep.
So if C is for X, wouldn't it be A minus B divided by A minus B is equal to X?
So it's not C for X. This just means solve for X over here. Just which letter you should have by itself in the end. That's a good question. Okay, so look at that last example and try to solve this one. I'll give you like 2 minutes to work on it. And if you're sitting there without a clue in the world, look at the first step from the previous problem and see if you can do this problem. You will get it. You can do it. All right, give you 2 minutes. So as I give you that 2 minutes, how many of you guys have got a missing assignment report like in middle school? Missing assignment report, yep. So I would guess that most of you are familiar with that. So Saturday afternoon and or Sunday morning, I'll have all the grades updated in IC. And then we'll send home a missing assignment report by like Sunday at noon. Okay, so make sure if you're missing a bunch, look at Schoology first, because there's Schoology is where I grade stuff first, and then I have to transfer it into IC. So definitely look at Schoology, and you can see if you're missing something. And just shoot me a quick email if you see I haven't graded something, and I will get that grade. Actually, you don't need to send me any, because I'll just see that I need to grade it. Schoology tells me. But try to get that stuff in by Sunday morning so you don't get any missing assignments when I send those reports home. I've got a couple of kids who aren't doing a heck of a lot. Anybody want me to tell you the answer? See if you got it right. You should have got X equals H over F minus G. Woohoo! Good job. All right. Lauren, what's the first step? She's like, yay. Do you know the first step, Lauren? You got to unmute. I don't know if you weren't. I think she gave me one of these, but I couldn't hear anything she said. So anyone, first step, what do I do? I don't know if Lauren's thing's not working, but first step,
divide
come on.
X divide X on F and G.
Good job. Divide X on both sides. So we have X parenthesis F minus G equals H. So this is where last period, a couple of kids who were like, I don't get any of this. So what I say to you, if you're feeling that way right now, number one, embrace the confusion. It's okay to be confused. Know that you will understand. And you understand because you're going to ask me questions and you're going to work really hard. Okay, that's going to help you to understand. So work hard, ask questions, and you'll be fine. And we're going to do, you can see I got 17 slides here. So we're going to do a bunch of these problems, right? So, and we're spending Tuesday on it as well. So hopefully by Tuesday, the end of class, you'll feel better about this. Still may not be 100%, but better is what we're going for. What's the last step, anyone? Volpe?
You divide F minus G from both sides.
Good.
And then X is equal to H divided by F minus G. I worded that really weirdly, but.
And what was that last part?
Never mind, sorry.
I wrote a really weird letter there. H over F minus G. Okay? So you'll definitely see one like that, as I said before, so make sure you get that down. You got 2 examples, and we'll do one more example like that as well in the homework when you guys ask a question. Okay, I'm going to go, so don't write all these down. If I want you to use one of these formulas, I'm going to tell you what the formula is. You will have to memorize formulas next year when you take geometry, and I'll definitely make you memorize some formulas, but this just gives you a general sense of the formulas. So when we do these literal equations, these are all literal equations, you'll notice that there are not many numbers in these, and we're just manipulating the equation, moving stuff around. So when you plug in numbers, they're easier to solve. So that's just some examples of equations we're going to use. Ari, you have a question?
On our lesson quiz on Tuesday, will we have one of those, one of the problems that are like
that?
X negative 10x plus, or 10x plus 5y equals x or whatever.
It's possible.
Number. Okay.
I haven't made the lesson quiz yet, but yeah, that'd be a possibility to be on there. I think any of the example types we do is fair game for a problem that I put on a quiz. Right? We're in regular Algebra 1. I'm not looking to trick you guys or like make it extra difficult or anything. Try to make everything straightforward and kind of match up so it'll help you do better. All right, so general types of equations there. Next problem, we're going to use one of those equations to solve a problem. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do this problem. I only showed one way last period, and I think it's better if I show you both ways. So it says, what is the radius of a circle with circumference 64 feet? We're going to round to the 10th, and we're going to use 3.14 for pi. So you have to know the equation for circumference of a circle. And we've got that equation right here. C equals 2 pi r. Okay, so we're going to use that one. So first way I'm going to solve is what I think is the easier way to solve. I'm going to plug in 64 because they tell me circumference is 64. And actually I wrote pi, but they want me to use 3.14 for pi. And then I have the r, which is what I'm trying to solve for. So we get 64 equals 6.28 times the radius. And then I'm just going to divide out that 6.28. And when I do that, I get 10.2. So this is just a little side light out here. In the last class, we were talking about units and how you know if units are squared or cubed or to the first power like this one is. So radius is a linear dimension. If you think about a radius, it's a line. That's why it's just feet, right? Measure any distance, it's inches, feet, meters, centimeters, whatever, not centimeters squared or cubed. Now, if we have area, because we're multiplying 2 dimensions together, like length times width, base times height, that's why it's squared. Volume, you're multiplying like length times width times height. So you got 3 of them. That's why it's cubed. So you know what your exponent is by how many dimensions you're multiplying together. So 2-dimensional squared, 3-dimensional cubed. So hopefully that helps you kind of sort that out, make it easier for you in the long run. Okay. I don't think I'm going to solve that problem the other way because I think this way is the best and easiest to understand. Okay, so we're going to just leave that alone. So now we got a triangle. What's a formula for area of a triangle? Raise your hand using the little nod thing so I know. All right, Volpe had her hand up. Area of a triangle is area equals?
Area equals 1/2 base times height.
1/2 base times height. You could have 1/2 length times width too. Or actually, don't say width. Never mind. Do base times height. It's better. So it says base with a length of 8. So last class we were doing L for the B. Doesn't matter because they say base and length. More of the story, let's plug in the numbers. So they tell us that the area is 24, and they tell us that the base equals 8. So where I see those letters, I'm just going to plug them in. So I get 24 equals 1/2 times 8 times 24. What's half of 8? Half of 8, 4, right? Don't make that any harder than that. Like I literally think of it like that. Half of 8 is 4. Boom, done. 4 times 24. 4 times 20 is 80. 4 times 4 is 16. 80 plus 16 is 96. Okay? All of you guys can do that. I did something wrong here. I put a 24 in for the height. Shouldn't have done that. This should be height over here. Got a little crazy with my 24. So what's the last step? Divide by, show me with your
4.
fingers. 4, right? So your height is 6, whatever the units were inches. Let me get rid of that. And it's 6 inches, okay? So what they want students to do is like solve for the variable, so solve for the h and then plug in numbers. I think it's easier to plug in numbers first and just solve for the letter, because that's kind of what you're used to doing anyways. Okay, so we got the old butterfly. Don't write the whole thing down. Let me read it. Monarch butterfly is the only butterfly that migrates annually north and south. The distance that a particular group of monarch butterflies travels is shown. So that distance is right here, the 1,700 miles. It takes a typical butterfly about 120 days to travel one way. What is the average rate at which a butterfly travels in miles per day? So distance, let's do it like that. Distance equals rate times time. So they won't always give you an equation like this. You think like miles per hour, that's a distance, right? You're in a car, you're going 60, you drive for 4 hours, 60 times 4, you've gone 240 miles. So rate times time equals distance. If you forget that formula, just think of miles per hour, because that gives it to you right there, right? Because miles per hour is the rate, and you can figure out the rest. So 120 days, so time is 120, and then the distance is 1,700, and we can just plug in and solve for the rate. So distance, 1,700, rate, we don't know, time we do. And then the last step here, just going to divide both sides by 120. So when you're dividing two numbers like this and you have zeros on the end, you can just cross off those zeros. Not in the middle, but if you have zeros on the end, you can cross them off. And you always have to cross off 1 for 1. basically we just reduced it by 10 by doing that. So we're going to do 170 divided by 12, which I have right there, 14.2. Because they told us, well, actually, they want us to round to the nearest mile per day. So 4.2 miles, that equals our rate. And then 14 rounded. So 14 miles. So what if we said like miles per what would it be? Miles per given this problem. Somebody tell me.
Days.
Yeah. So MPH would be MPD. We'll just say miles per day. Yeah. Right? Rounded to the whole mile. So again, plug in, solve for the variable you're missing. Make sure you got the correct units, and you're good. All right. Yeah. So the rest are just homework problems up there. So that is it. That one went a little faster than last period. But there's your homework starting at 17, so have at it. Please ask me a bunch of questions. And just so you know, questions we did last period, we did 17, 21, 23, 27, 39, 41. Let me just erase 41 real quick. And I am happy to do any of those problems again, or different ones too. No problem. All right, there you go. Have at it. Ask questions if you need to. I'll just be over here working.
Excuse me?
Yep.
Do we do 17 through 30?
It's 17 through 41 odd.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Wait, I don't understand number 17.
Okay.
What I'm supposed to do in that instant?
17 is just like the first example. And get back there. So all you got to do plug in that -2 first. And then we're just going to solve for y.
So you go through all of them.
Yeah, it's like 3 for 1 problem.
Okay, thank you.
That's all. I'll just finish it for anybody else that needs it. And if we were to plug in the second one, you'd have 4 minus 4y equals -4. And just continue down and solve. And this one would be 6 minus 4y equals -4. And just solve from there.
Mr. Evans, I need to go.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, have a good weekend.
I'm not done with the homework, but am I allowed to leave too?
Yeah, you can just come back if you got a question.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Is it okay if I also head off?
Zoe, you can just resubmit it in the same place. Or I can delete it for you, whatever works the best and easiest for you. Just let me know.
What does the semicolon mean in number 17?
It's just like separating this part from this part. Just what do you do? Like we're plugging x in here, here, and here. So plug in -2 first, then plug in 4, and then plug in 6, and just do the math. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And we'll have access time today. So if you got questions about access or need more questions, come to access time. Yes, it's okay if you leave, Elise. Actually, before, let me just take attendance.
By the way, Cole is at a doctor's appointment, so he's not in the call.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Hey, Clevis, I still couldn't read your assignment submissions. You're still submitting them as HTML, and I can't see them because they're too small.
How should I turn them in?
Anything other than HTML works. Literally, you pick the only one that I can't see. So JPEG's fine, PNG's fine, HEIC is fine. And if you take the pick and scroll to the bottom, you can save it as different methods. And then if you don't get that, try to have brother, sister, ma or pa, or friend, somebody help you.
Okay.
Thank you. He's here. Shay was here. He's here. Lauren's here. Was Megan R in the class? Anyone see Megan?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, good. Got attendance, so you're good. If you didn't hear it, don't worry about it.
Going to leave. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you later, Dominic. Yeah, let me know if you go. It's just nice. Just say bye, thank you. I don't care if you say thank you or not. Just say bye so I know you're going.
Mr. Evans?
Yep.
How would you do like 21?
21.
It doesn't have to be like the exact answer.
No, I can. That's fine. So we have Rx plus Sx over T equals 1. And all of these ones from that middle group are problems you're solving for X. So this divide by T is in the way. First thing you got to do is multiply by T. So the T's cancel on the left side of the equal. And you have Rx plus Sx equals T. And then it's exactly like that first example we did and the other one that was similar. So we're going to divide both parts on the left by X to factor the X out. And then we have R plus S left. Equals T. And then we can just divide out the parenthesis on both sides. So divide both sides by R plus S. Those cancel. X equals T over R plus S. Final answer. And it's not like these problems aren't like, yay, I got it right. It's like, oh crap, I think I understand now. So if you feel like that, that's good. Well, not great, you know, but you'll get it.
Hey, Mr. Evans.
Yeah.
I'm going to head out.
All right, Dawson, we'll see you later, bud. Have a good weekend.
Right. You too.
Later.
I'm going to head out too.
Okay, Christian, we'll see you. Rest of you punks ask questions. You'll do better in the class if you do. I'm glad you smile when I say punks, Lauren. Somebody's laughing at my stupid jokes.
How do you do number 23?
23. Let me get that one up here. I don't remember if I did 23. Ah, yeah. So again, we're solving for x for all these problems. So solving for x. Again, I've only got one x here, so I cover up that whole x thing, get rid of the c. I do that by subtracting it from both sides. So we have s minus c equals x c. And then implied operation is multiplication. To undo it, divide. So we're going to divide by c on both sides. And I always show it with the two divides over here. It's better. So the reason being is these c's cancel to give you 1. So if I replace these with 2's, like 2 divided by 2 is 1. So is c divided by c also 1. Okay, so s over c minus 1 equals x. Go ahead, Anna. You didn't.
Could you go up a little bit?
Yeah. There
Thank
you go.
you.
That's all of it. Yes, you can leave the call, but still do the homework. Yeah, homework time, it's your choice. You want to stay and ask questions, you're smart. If you want to leave, and you already get it, I'm not saying you're dumb, but you leave, you can leave if you get it, no problem. And you can always come back in if you get a question. Look, I'm recording this whole lesson, even the questions you guys have at the end. So I decided too that I'm going to post the videos different. So it'll be like in a folder on the main Schoology page. So if you miss a class, it's just going to be easier for you to tell and look up the video where you missed. Freshmen are always reluctant to use the videos for some reason.
How would you do number 21?
21. I'll do it again, okay? Okay, so 21, again, we're solving for x. So you have rx plus sx over t equals 1. So I want to get this. I have 2 x's. I want to get it down to 1. And also this divide by t is in the way. So to undo divide by t, multiply by t. So the t's cancel on the left side. Then you got rx plus sx equals t. And then it's exactly like that first example we did. So I'm going to factor out the x. So you have x. The x's cancel in both these fractions, so I have r plus s left, and that equals t. And then to get the x by itself, cover up the x, get rid of the r plus s by dividing. The r plus s's cancel on the left side. And you have x equals t over r plus s. So if you struggle on problems like these, just anyone in general, you go back to the video and listen to that example a few times, and you'll start to get it. You just will. Okay? So definitely ask more questions if you got them. We still have like a half hour left. Plenty of time. I'm just grading homework. Oh, make sure I had a kid who just turned in an assignment with 0 work shown. You show 0 work, I'm going to give you a 0. Okay, so just make sure you show work. That's a bummer for that kid.
Do you think I kind of came in late when you were explaining that problem? Do you think you could just like scroll up and I can read it and then
Totally.
try to figure it out that way?
Go for it. And if you need me to explain again, Ari, no problem. I'll explain it again.
There isn't a 31. Or at least I don't see one.
You're correct. You get a 31 off. Woo!
Mr. Evans,
Yes.
do you mind to go over number 27?
Not at all. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, 27 up there. So one really easy way to solve this is if you put the 2 over 1, then we can just do the old cross multiply. So we're going to multiply 2 times y minus 1. Like that, using parentheses, and 1 times x plus 2 is just going to be x plus 2. And then I think we're solving for x on this. Let me just double check. Yep, solving for x. So I'm going to distribute first and then subtract the 2. So we get 2y minus 2 equals x plus 2. And then last step, just subtract 2 from both sides. Or second to last step. No, that's the last step. 2y minus 4 equals x, and you're done. Did you get that one, Santi? He's like, oh God, make it stop. I've seen that look before. It's all good.
Can you go over 17? Because I'm really confused.
17?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all this means after, with the semicolon thing, is where I see x in the problem, I'm going to plug in -2. So there's an x right here. So instead of that x, I write -2.
Okay.
Right? So here, instead of the x, I'm just writing 4. And instead of the x, writing 6. And then we're just doing the math to get y by itself. So once we plug in the -2, I'd add 2 to both sides. End up with -2, divide by -4, and I just reduce -2 over -4 to 1/2. Okay? This one I'd subtract 4 to both sides as my first step. This one I'd subtract 6 from both sides as my first step. Okay? So
All
if
right,
you got
thank
other
you.
questions, or if you want me to do one of these other two, feel free and I'll do it for you.
I'm gonna be fully honest. None of this makes sense to me.
Wait, you gotta
Like
none making sense. I don't believe you at all. But give me a
Like
question.
23.
23.
like I got 19 and 21. Like I got 19 originally, but then I didn't get 21 until I saw it solved.
Right.
But 23 right now is confusing me.
So we're just solving for this x right here, right?
Yeah.
So I just cover that up, and then I got to get rid of the c.
Uh-huh.
And then I had this part right here. So s minus c equals x times c.
Yeah.
And to get this x by itself, I just divide that c out. So this basically right here is your answer.
Okay.
I mean, that's all we're doing. But you got to be comfortable with that confusion and just know it's gonna feel weird and you're not gonna totally get it. You'll have that frustration pit in your stomach. Anybody have that frustration pit in their stomach right now? Many of you I know, yes. So you will get it. Yes, Lauren, I saw it. Yep.
So then for 25, a equals bxt plus c. I cover up the bxt, subtract c to get a minus c equals bxt, and then divide by b.
Just getting caught up. And divide by
b.
So you're trying to get x by itself, so you can divide by both b and t. Trying to get this by itself, so I can divide by these two on the outside. Because the b's and the t's cancel on that right side like that.
So ac divided by bt equals x.
A minus, I forgot the minus right here. A minus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it okay that I wrote it ca? C minus a?
You would have to have negative c plus a, and then that would be okay. Because the c is negative.
How do I know?
You know that c is negative because you subtracted it.
Oh, okay. And if I add it, then that means that
it's positive.
Okay.
Literally the perfect kind of questions to ask because you just help like 10 other people in here as well by sorting through that. Volpe, what you got?
For number 29, would the answer be length is equal to 4.5 inches squared?
Let me look at it.
Or length is equal to 4.5 inches?
With area. Yes, that's correct.
Which one would it be, inches or inches squared?
If you have length, is that a linear measurement? Like is length a line? That's why it's just inches.
So it is just inches.
Correct. If it's area, then it's inches squared.
For that one, would you just do like 45 divided by 10? Or?
You want me to show you?
Sure.
Okay. It was 29. So length of a rectangle, width, so area equals length times width. That's a formula, and we'll just plug in. So here A equals 45, and width equals 10. So you get 45 equals L times 10. So you got to show me those steps, like the equation in that first step, and then dividing out. Because many of you can just figure out in your head it's going to be 4.5, but you got to show the math to prove it. And yes, it is inches. And I can't tell who that was. Rutledge, what you got?
39.
And then we'll get Zasha and Nate, or that was Nate there. We'll get Zasha after that. So 39
Yeah.
right here. So V equals 1/3 pi.
Because it says, are we solving, like, is it solving for H, right?
Correct.
Okay. That makes, okay, thank you.
You want me to do it? I'll do it. Do you want me-
Yeah, sure.
I'm doing it. So I want to get rid, or I want to solve for the H, so I got to get rid of R squared pi and the 1/3. So the opposite of 1 divided by 3 is times 3. So on the left side, I'll get 3V equals pi R squared H. And then these are all multiplication here, so I can divide by pi and R squared. Because then I only have that H left on the left side. So I get H equals 3 times the volume over pi times the radius squared.
Thank you.
No problem. Zasha, what you got?
For 33, I got a fraction, and I'm not quite sure if that's right.
Okay, let me see. Let's see, 33. Vehicle travels on a highway at a rate. So it's going to be rate, let's get it this way. Rate times time equals distance. How long does it take the vehicle to travel 25 miles? So the rate is 65. The distance is 25. So just plug that in. 25 equals 65 times t. So is this going to be, if the car's going 65 and it goes 25 miles, is it going to take less or more than 1 hour? Car's going 65 and you're going 25 miles.
Less.
Less, good. So you just want to kind of think along the way as you're doing these problems, because that's going to be a fraction that's less than 1. So you know you got it right. So 25 divided by 65 is 0.38. And I think they wanted us to round to tenths. Yeah, round to tenths. So 0.39 or they said tenths, so 0.4 is what I meant to say. So time equals 0.4 hours. Is that what you got? I don't even remember what you said.
Oh, I got a fraction, but I just have to make it
you
decimal.
could, right? So if you divide top and bottom by 5, you get 5 over 13.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss.
All right, we'll see you later. Tutor time at 3:10 if you need more help.
I most definitely will need that.
Okay, not a problem. Ah, I just saw at the district they're been receiving multiple reports of Google Meet crashing. Glad it's not crashing for us.
You jinxed it. It's about to crash now.
I never believe that, Ari. Never, never.
How would you do number 35?
35. Who was that? Was that Maddie? I don't know who asked that.
Me.
Oh, Charlotte. Okay. Can't quite recognize the voice yet. 35. I don't think I've done 35. Let's see. No, I haven't. This is where you guys see words and you're like, I don't like those. Words should not be in math, right? But they are. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is write that equation. So bricklayers use that formula to estimate the number of bricks needed to build a wall of length L and height H, where L and H are in feet. Estimate the height of a wall that's 20 feet long, 28 feet long, so that's L. So N equals 7 times 28. Actually, we have the number of bricks too. Times H. So we want to estimate the height right there. So bricks is 1568. So just multiply 7 times 28 and divide it by 1568 and you're good, which I'll show you here in a sec. So you get 196. So 1568 equals 196 H. And then we're going to do 1568 divided by 196. Which is 8. So the wall will be 8 feet tall. So super helpful as far as strategy in solving these kind of things. Write the equation, figure out where you can plug in numbers, and just solve for the missing letter, and you're good.
Mr. Evans,
Yeah,
can you do number 41, please?
absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, don't feel bad. It's all good. So 41. My hopes is that you'll think it's easier than it actually is once I do it. So we're solving for A. So A's in the parenthesis, which means that's in the way. So 2 times that parenthesis in the way. First thing I'm going to do, many of you guys will probably distribute, and you can still get the correct answer. It just costs you a bunch more steps. If I divide that 2 out, because it divides evenly over here, it makes it even easier. So we get x plus A equals 2B. Because then it just clears up right away in that first step, which is handy. And all I got to do now is subtract x from both sides. So A equals 2B minus x.
Okay, well then I'm done, so I'm gonna go. Thank
All right,
you.
Maddie, have a good weekend. We'll see you later.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
too.
Mr. Evans?
Yeah.
How would you do number 37?
37. Let me see if I got that one. I don't think so. Oh, yeah. I can't believe nobody has asked me that question yet. That's nasty.
I admit I was about to.
Good. Because I was like, oh my God, look at that thing. Oh, nice. All right, so we got x over a minus 1 equals y over b. And we're solving for x. Okay, so x is in the numerator. That makes it, in general, easier if it's in the numerator. Denominator's a pain in the neck. So I'm covering up that x thing. I'm going to get rid of the thing next to it by adding 1 to both sides. So I get x over a equals y over b plus 1. So this divide by a is in the way. You're going to multiply by a, right, Charlotte? Yes, that's what you were saying, I think. So we're going to multiply both sides by a. So when I multiply by a on this right side, make sure that you distribute to both parts in the parenthesis. A cancels on the left. And then when you multiply that first fraction, it's just ay over b. Right, so you're only multiplying the numerator. Don't multiply the denominator. Reason being is it's like a over 1, so you multiply a times y and 1 times b. So that's why you only multiply to the numerator. And then 1 times a is 1a, or just a. We solve for x, right? I forgot. Yes, good. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
That's a weird one.
I finished my homework. Can I leave?
Absolutely. We'll see you later. Have a good weekend.
Bye, Mr. Evans. Thank you.
All right, we'll
Thank
see you
you.
later, Shannon.
Bye.
See you, Charlotte. Yeah, 9 minutes left. Feel free to continue to grind.
Could you go over number 39?
Yes. Those of you that keep your pictures off, I always look at your picture so I can see who the hell you are. That's okay. So you said what, Anna, 39?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I had 39 up from before. I'll do it again. There it is. So there's the original problem. And then we'll go through all the steps. Okay. So I'm trying to solve for this h right here. That 1/3's in the way. So the opposite of divide by 3 is multiply by 3. So on the left side, I have 3b. And the 1/3 times 3 is just 1, so that goes away. Okay, and if I want to solve for this h right here, I can get rid of both the pi and the r squared. And I get rid of both the pi and the r squared by just dividing both of them out. Right, so now we have the h by itself. The pi r squared cancels. So that's my answer right there. So first key step, you see that fraction in front? Multiply by the denominator because it makes the fraction cancel. So that's a good little
Wait, what
helpful
happened
hint to
to
write down.
h?
Go, Ari, go ahead.
Is it 3v divided by pi r squared equals h?
Correct.
Okay.
Good job.
So confused.
You'll get it. I got faith in you, Ari. You don't have faith in yourself. I got plenty of faith in you for everybody involved.
It's funny too because when we were doing the lessons together, like before we started homework, I was like, "Yo, yeah, I got this."
Yes.
And then we get to the homework, and I'm like, "What just happened?"
What the hell is going on? No, I know what you mean. That's because I'm good at explaining, so I make it seem easy when I'm explaining, and then sometimes when students go to practice it, they're just like, "Oh my God, what happened?"
Well, I am done.
True.
All right, Lauren. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Mr. Evans, and have a delightful weekend.
I will. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Mr. Evans.
Yeah.
In Infinite Campus, it says I have the 2.1 and 2.2 quiz work and the homework from that day missing, but I turned it in through Schoology, and then I resubmitted it to you through your email, and it still said.
Let me see real quick. I'm opening up the grade book in Schoology. So you have everything in. Let me just update that. Password. Almost there. Just updating IC now. McFadden. All right, if you refresh your IC page, I think you'll be pretty stoked on your grade.
Okay, thank you. And
No
I finished the homework, so I'm going to go.
Okay, see you, Anna.
Okay, bye.
See ya. Clevis, I know you can figure out how to save that thing. Do you have anybody in your house who can help you? If you're still there?
I think so, but it's still pretty confusing to me.
Can you turn your camera on and show me your phone or something so I can try to help you? Or I don't know how the best way to help you. Or do you have a friend that you know?
Is he trying to find out how to submit the homework?
Yeah, because he's submitting it as HTML. And the picture is so small I can't read anything on the picture.
I think if he goes, is he on an Apple?
What are you on,
Yeah.
Travis?
If you just go, I don't know. Can you check to see if mine are submitted right? Because if mine are small too, then I don't know, but they shouldn't be.
What I just do is I send the picture to my email and then I save it and then submit it to the Schoology.
Oh, okay. So go onto your phone.
Yeah.
And go to Schoology app, and then go to the left top corner where it says your courses, and go into High School Algebra 1.
Are you there yet, Clevis?
Hold on.
I thought that was a little quick. You needed a moment.
Gotta download the app real quick.
Okay.
It'll make it a heck of a lot easier downloading that app for sure.
Guess what?
Huh.
I solved 41 on my own.
Nice. That gives you some confidence, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah, not much, but a little. We'll take a little.
Mr. Evans also.
Yep.
In IC it said I had some missings, which brought my grade down quite a bit.
Where?
And I
all right,
emailed you them.
Hold on 1 sec. Let me just get to you. So 1, 2. Let me just check real quick before you go into your whole spiel practice. Give me 1 second. I'll just check the grades. That's the easiest way to do it. Did you email me? So 1, 2 quiz work, page 13, and practice 2, 1, and 2, 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
it should have got emailed to you.
Let me see. 1 sec. Were you having difficulty turning in at the beginning?
What'd you say?
Were you having difficulty turning in stuff at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I remember that.
It says I have 2.2 quiz work submission. It says I have credit for that, but I'm missing practice 2.1, 1 through 19 odd, and then 1.2 work shown, and page 13, 9 through 23 odd. It says all three of those are missing.
So I got 2, 1, and 2, 2 from an email you sent me on September 2nd.
Yep.
And then quiz work, is it towards the bottom?
I'm not sure. Do you see 1.2 work shown though?
It says 1.2 work, so yeah, you should be good.
And then the last one is page 13, 9 through 23.
That one I don't see. It only pulled up one email from you, and it didn't see page 13 on there.
Okay, I'll email it to you right now.
Okay, cool. Let me get the rest of that in.
Thank you. I'm going to head out.
Okay, Zasha, we'll see you later.
Can I head out too?
Absolutely. Later.
All right, bye. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. I'm going to assume you're going to get me page 13, Ari. I'm putting it into Schoology. Just heard you take the picture.
All right.
What you could do is, well, whatever. Just email.
I just sent it.
Okay, cool. Let me just double check. See how long it takes to get to me. Still not here. There it is. Boom. Beautiful. All right, let me update IC. Yep, all updated. Check it out, Ari. You're doing
awesome. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. All right, Clevis, you got that figured out, my man?
Yeah, I think so. So, this
what did
work
you
that
submit?
I'm
Just so I can double check something for you.
What?
What can you tell me an assignment you submitted so I can double check?
So I submitted 1.2 wait, hold on. I think I submitted 1.2 work shown.
I don't see an assignment there. Quiz work. I see, it looks like you submitted practice 2.1, but I don't know if that's an old one or not. Let me see. Yeah, that's an old one.
And then I resubmitted page 98, 11 through 29. I don't know if that worked.
Okay, let me check that one out. Why did it just switch? Weird. So, page 98. page. Let me reload my page here. Maybe there's a little delay. Almost there. Can you email me that page 98?
Yeah, sure.
Because nothing has showed up yet. I don't know how long it takes to show up, but it seems like it should not take that long.
Okay.
I'm
And
just,
then I'll send the other ones, and then I'll figure it out how to put it on Schoology.
I just want to make sure that you get one email that works. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
so I know that you're doing it correct, so we don't have to deal with it. So yeah, send me an email if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Evans, I'm gonna head out.
All right, sounds good, Ari. We'll see you.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
Let me know once you send that email, Clevis, and I'll check it out for you.
Okay. Do you remember when we took the 1.2 quiz?
Yeah, I can tell you. One sec.
Cause I think I took it, but it says I didn't turn in the work, so I don't know.
So 1.2 quiz was August 28th. So it should be somewhere around there. You're not that bad off, Clevis. I still have a kid who has not been able to join the class yet.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, you're so screwed, buddy. Can you imagine having to do all that we've done to catch up?
That's insane.
Totally insane. Would not be cool.
So it looks like I did 1.2, but I didn't turn in the work. So I'm gonna try and find the work.
Okay. Just take a picture of something you can send to me so I can make sure that part's working. I don't care if it's a whatever homework you're working on right now. Just grab a picture real quick and see if just got to make sure it works. Because you still thought you tried to submit page 98, you said before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me just double check again. And you're doing it to the one with the beach scene, right?
Which one?
Like the class with the beach scene?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, still nothing showed up. I think it shows up right away, but I'm not positive.
All right, so I'm gonna try to email the 98 right now.
Okay. And then maybe we can walk through on submitting through Schoology. I just want to see if your picture works. I know it's making you crazy because it's making me crazy. Especially with your grade the way it is, right? Because you've done this stuff, but you just got to see it.
Yeah.
I just realized I'm recording all this exciting information. I can cut it off.